Well, we have a long history of truck racing. I think we had already races of trucks before it was an FIA championship. We love this one annual event, which is a big fiesta for all related people.
C'est déjà le circuit, mon circuit national. C'est le plus beau circuit.
This is an excellent course for truck racing. It's short, narrow, and you have to brake and accelerate a lot. A perfect site for racing.
Le peloton est très serré et très spectaculaire.
Last year we celebrated 50 years anniversary of Circuit Zolder, which means now it's 51 years. We look not to the back, we look to the future.
On a déjà que cette course-ci sur l'année. Il n'y a pas de championnat national de camions.
Since this is the only truck race of the year in Belgium, it always draws in lots of spectators, loads of whole families. I think everyone will find here something of interest.
We need in our season to have one specific weekend where we can really say this is reserved for trucks.
The paddock is small and all the drivers and staff are close together, so the spectators can see everything and everyone, all nicely packed together.
We are, quote-unquote, very close to Brussels, which is considered to be the middle of Europe, the center of Europe. So I would say Zolder is the center of Europe. Within 1.5 to 2 hours drive, we have 30 million inhabitants in Holland, Germany, north of France, and Belgium. And that's a big public which we can draw for truck racing. All the French circuits are south of Paris, so Paris people are closer to Zolder than to any French racing track.
The FIA European Truck Racing Championship, Part 7. Both Bagheeras, driven by Versetsky and Lasko, were the fastest in the Czech town of Most 2 weeks ago. In Zolder 2, both Czech truckers managed to upset the dominance of the MANs. Saturday's qualifying practice finished like this. The opening lap of the opening race ends in the very first corner. The race is suspended. And this is the end of the Belgian weekend for the young Hungarian driver Major. Restart. Hahn in MAN number 1 gets to the top of the field, followed by Versetsky with number 33. After some maneuvering, Albacete works his way into the 3rd place, ahead of the Hungarian Kish in MAN number 4. All the signs were that the actual setup for the podium had already been settled, but Zolder is extremely challenging in technical terms, and Versetsky paid the price. His damaged servo puts him out of the race. Out of all the circuits in the entire series, it's precisely Zolder that is most demanding on brakes. During each lap, the drivers have to brake from 160 to 50 several times. It all looks very impressive, but the brakes are hard to cool. And notice what the tires do when cornering. The first 3 places in the race eventually go to the best 3 truckers overall: Hahn, Kish, Albacete.
The second start is nearly better than the first one, so from this side I'm happy after the first corner on the second start, and I can make a big step. I think I'm 4 or 5 seconds in front for David, and David have some mistakes or some broken parts, I don't know. Yeah, and then it's Nobby behind me, and I can hold the gap, so from this side I'm very, very happy. From this side we will see the second race.
We've already seen Benedek Major, who finished after a collision. Exactly a year ago, he was involved in a clear-cut crash of the year here in Zolder. In some of its sections, Zolder looks more like a street course, only there are concrete walls instead of escape lanes. Nevertheless, however blood-curdling the crash may have seemed, nobody was hurt at all. These huge trucks are simply safe. And what about the technical demands of the circuit? Out of all the courses in the series, Zolder is definitely most demanding technically. As confirmed by telemetry data, drivers have problems with brakes, engines, tires, cooling and chassis setting. The circuit calls for most frequent accelerations and most frequent braking. It's simply extreme in all the aspects. The second race of the day is a handicap race. The 8 best-placed drivers from the first race swap their positions at the starting line. Half of the points are awarded in this race. There are plans, as of next season, to start awarding full number of points here as well, which would give the championship a completely new arithmetic. Soon after the start, Markus Bessiger gets to the top. The Swiss veteran in his MAN number 7 has already won this year, and he's now building up a safe lead. Trailing behind him is the usual train of pursuers. German Reinhardt, number 77, keeps behind himself a group of the fastest truckers for quite a long time. He was overtaken as late as in the 7th lap, and then the field kept changing several times. The situation at the finish is as follows: Bessiger first, Kish second, and Lasko third. I overtook Rodriguez and René fairly easily. Then I could keep my distance and my pace without problems until the finish line. Super. The fight for the European title is thrilling, to say the least. 3 events before the end of the season, there are 3 pilots standing virtually the same chances for winning.
I think now begin the fight.
And at the moment, I think everyone can be the winner.
I think we are 15 points apart from each other, or within 3 of us is within 15 points, which is not much.
Zolder I like well, Jarama very well, and Le Mans very, very well. So from this side, everything works well.
Each one of us has a problem. He will be out of the championship, I think.
You know, they have a lot of experience, and when conditions changes around the track, you know, and I not just mean by, you know, if it's dry or wet, but, you know, whatever temperature is there, the air or the track, I see them. They can adapt much better because of their experience.
In the moment, when you look to the season, Norbert is very strong every time. But a lot of times he is not so clever what he do, and he have a little bit technical mistakes.
Jochen is, he has 3 titles in a row, so he has a lot of experience, so he doesn't have to be nervous. And maybe Kish is fighting for his first championship, and maybe he can make some mistakes.
We could win qualifying practices, we could win races, so we are pretty quick now, and I think that's where we are strong.
And we will see what we have to play there, if we have to be aggressive or not.
You need the car and the driver on a good condition to make a pole or to win a race. So this is the strongest part, to make it together for win.
At this course, spectators can get quite close to the racing trucks. Everybody can literally touch the machines. This can hardly happen in any other motorsport event. Starting grid for Sunday's first race. Norbert Kish is known for his excellent starts, and once he takes the lead, he's hard to overtake. Last time in Most, Kish had a truly black weekend. He chalked up only 29 points, which is too little for a contender for the title. Now he's driving absolutely confidently. There is some tough maneuvering behind Kish. The third running Hahn tirelessly attacks the runner-up Albacete, time and again. The German is evidently somewhat faster, but the experienced Spaniard knows how to handle this. But pilots are battling it out behind the leaders too. The championship is slowly drawing to its final, and it's only logical that we pay more attention to the best truck drivers. But more than 20 trucks came to Zolder. For instance, Anthony Janiek has been doing fairly well. The Frenchman in MAN number 11 pilots a truck that can hardly keep up with the cream of the crop. And yet in each of the 4 races, Anthony managed to get among the top 10. Racing technique isn't always the most important factor. As many as 14 pilots won points in Zolder. Kish, Albacete, Hahn.
I know probably my only chance is at the start and to make it on the outside of turn 1, which I could. Antonio just gave me just enough space, not a centimeter more than I needed to stay there and take turn 2. So that was the aim before the start, and I'm really happy that I could do it.
It is evidently primarily here in Zolder that truck racing is a family sport. And needless to add, the national delicacy, excellent Belgian wafers, can hardly be missing either. Time for the final handicap race of the weekend. The showdown came in the very first corner. The Czech driver Wojciech and the home pilot Ble thoroughly upset the field. It was Adam Lacko who benefited most. He quickly weaved his way to the second place behind Bösiger. On the other hand, Lacko's teammate Vršecký turned out to be the loser. The collision sent him out of the track and he dropped far behind from his position up front. Bösiger won the handicap race yesterday, but he won't repeat it today. White smoke signals problems with his turbo. Bösiger is out and Lacko takes the lead. His Bagheera has number 55. And why the pink color? In this way, his team and the Meritor brand have been supporting the fight against breast cancer. The 3 main contenders for the title trailing behind Lacko. The 5th win of the season for Adam Lacko, 4th overall. Albacete is 2nd, Hahn 3rd. For me, it all ended as best as it could. There was a major crash at the start, but I managed to avoid that. I got out and sneaked into the 2nd place. Then I kept circling behind Bösiger, who dropped out due to a technical defect. While running at the top, I just tried to build up my lead and avoid making any stupid mistake. No changes in the team standings after Zolder. In the current individuals rankings, the difference among the 3 top pilots is a mere 7 points. A lot will be at stake on the hot Spanish circuit of Jarama.